Hi there. Today's movie is Kajaki, which I watched over the Christmas break. And I must admit, I hadn't heard of the movie, and to my shame, I hadn't heard of the actual incident that the movie portrays, because it's based on, and very, very accurately based on, a real life incident which happened to a group of three para soldiers deployed in Helmand, Afghanistan, protecting the key point Kajaki Dam. And I didn't really know what to expect from the film, because some recent war films, particularly based on Afghanistan, have really just been guys talking in OPs and things like that. This very, very quickly gets to the meat of the incident when a sniper, Lance Corporal Stuart Hale, goes to the corporal in charge of the whole outpost, Stu Pearson, and points out that they could get a better overview position to watch a Taliban checkpoint if they moved a little bit closer. So he is allowed to take a patrol to achieve this, to go and seek out a better OP. And what happens is they get stuck in a former Soviet minefield, anti-personnel mines, and Stu Hale is the first to become a casualty, and he has the lower part of his leg blown off. And from there, it just gets worse and worse and worse. The corporal in charge, Stu Pearson, who is terrifically portrayed by Scott Kyle, comes across as the epitome of the tough Scots para, takes control of the situation, but unfortunately also becomes a casualty, and things just get worse and worse. Anyway, they try to bring in, they request a Kazovac helicopter, and specifically want one with winch capability, because landing in a minefield obviously is not going to help anybody. As it happens, they didn't have an airframe with a winch, and they sent a Chinook which attempts to land, detonates some more mines, and one of the soldiers, Mark Wright, is wounded very, very seriously, and turns out to be fatally wounded. Meanwhile, there's terrible casualties. One guy, he's got an open chest wound. It's all horrifically and very graphically shown in the film. And these guys are lying in the Afghan sun. Obviously, it's very difficult for anyone else to get to them to give them aid. The guys, as the legs or other limbs are blown off, they're absolutely howling in pain, and these are tough paras, and it really does have an impact on the viewer when you see the pain that these young men are in. Okay, it's a movie, but obviously it's based on how they actually reacted. The medic, the designated medic, was Paul Hartley, and he is helping one of the casualties, and there's another group of casualties caused by the heli, but obviously there's the danger of the mines. Nobody knows where they are. They have tried to clear some of the routes in to get the guys water and so on, but within the blast area, there's it's almost impossible to clear. So the medic, he comes up with the idea. He takes his medical pack and throws it, shields himself, doesn't detonate a mine, so he jumps on it, and he does this again and again and again until he gets to the other group of casualties, where he can give them some pain relief, stop the bleeding, and this kind of thing. Eventually, after 6 hours, they managed to get a Black Hawk helicopter in with winch capability, and they start winching the Kaz to safety. It's an absolutely stunning movie. We all watched it in silence, and apparently when at the premiere, the audience walked out in silence, and it wasn't because they didn't like the film. They were virtually traumatized by it. I think that's quite a common reaction. Many of the guys received decorations. The medic, Paul Hartley, got the George Medal. The corporal in charge, Stu Pearson, he got a medal. The original casualty, who Stu Hale and Stu Pearson both returned to the Paras. Stu Pearson eventually promoted to sergeant, even with their prosthetic legs. What can I say about it? The movie has been praised by Jeremy Clarkson as the best war movie he's ever seen. And when I read that at the beginning of the movie, I was kind of skeptical. But at the end of it, I couldn't think of a better war movie. And there's been some really, really good war films, both fictional and factual. Considering this is based on a real story and very, very accurately portrays it, at the end you see the actor with a picture of the soldier he's portraying. Many of the guys got medals, including two American servicemen. I think they were the guys from the helicopter, possibly. And it was a truly heroic, but in the sense of selfless heroics, achievement by many people there. While I was watching it, obviously I watched the film since the withdrawal from Afghanistan, and it does really make you think, was the cost worth it? Was our policy, when I say our, I mean the Allies' policy there, really coherent, and did it achieve anything in the end? The Taliban's now running the place with the general consent of the population. The Taliban couldn't have done it themselves. In my opinion, the Afghan people want that type of rule. They are very, very orthodox in their views on women and young girls and so on, and that's the way they want the country. And we just were invaders who were trying to change a way of life that had gone on for centuries. Terrific film. If you haven't seen it, I 100% recommend it.